Hello, welcome back to Snugglewood, young Dreamlynx. My name is Arine. Settle into your coziest quilt and let tonight's story, along with soothing sounds, brush away any worries. Allow them to gently guide you into a deep and rejuvenating night's sleep under these beautiful stars above. And so our story begins, in a place called Kindheart Meadows, and the sleepy giant tale of Sommertira. Under a lavender dusk sky, Kindheart Meadows stretched far and wide, shimmering with the subtle golden glow of the day's last rays. This place was no ordinary meadow. It resonated with the sweet hum of life, each whisper of the breeze carrying gentle melodies meant to calm even the most restless hearts. This was where Sommertira, the magical gathering of butterflies, unfolded day after day. A soft symphony of fluttering wings and silent kindness. At the farthest end of Kindheart Meadows, nestled among the swaying silver grass and moon-blue wildflowers, lived the butterflies who called this haven home. These were no common butterflies. Their gossamer wings shimmered like liquid light, catching the colours of the sun, moon, and stars as they danced through the air. Each butterfly was as unique as the glint of morning dew, reflecting iridescent hues from pastel lavender to liquid gold. The elder butterfly, Solera, often perched atop of an ancient moss-covered stone that was cool to the touch, even under the warmest sunshine. Her wings, a gentle gradient of peach and cream, with flecks of silver, glimmered softly as she began the evening's quiet tradition. She hummed a familiar song, her voice a soothing murmur that seemed to weave itself into the rustle of the meadow's grass. Tonight was special. The meadows were preparing to enter into their bioluminescent twilight, a nightly transformation known to local giants as the Highland Bloom. Gentle pinpricks of light began dotting the edges of flowers and stems, illuminating the trails snaking through the meadows. The butterflies' wings pulsed with a rhythmic glow as they joined in the nightly ritual, a show of harmony, light, and delicate purpose. Nearby, a babbling stream wove its way through the meadow, carrying with it whispers of contentment. Its water was clear as crystal, reflecting the pale shimmer of the spiraling stars above. Small clusters of daisies leaned over the stream's edge, their petals nodding gently as the stream hummed a lullaby. The air itself swirled in a tender haze of wild honey and the faint, soothing aroma of chamomile. A butterfly named Elunda emerged from her resting place beneath the shade of a sprawling willow, with wings like delicate stained glass, a mosaic of pinks, blues, and greens. She moved with the soft precision of a painter's brush on an infinite canvas. Her role, like many others here, was not hurried or burdened. It was to enhance. She flitted gracefully above the trails, scattering faint motes of iridescent glow dust that lingered in the dim air like dreams nestled in twilight. The meadows weren't only home to butterflies. They were shared by countless beings who lived in serene harmony. Fireflies blinked in dreamy rhythms, trailing soft green luminescence along the edge of the meadow ponds. The crickets began their nightly serenade, weaving their symphony of contentment, while the distant owls added their muted calls, like the soft notes of a lullaby singing their listeners into peace. Deep within the heart of the meadows lay a grove veiled in mist. its entry marked by ancient trees whose trunks radiated a gentle warmth. The grove was where the butterflies retreated during twilight, a sacred sanctuary hidden amidst the meadow's endless expanse. This evening, it softly throbbed with the glow of Sommertira, becoming a living canvas for light and imagination. Within this secret space, the butterflies gather for their nightly ritual of granting dreams. Each butterfly settles gently atop the leaves and petals that form a natural amphitheatre. Salira, with her reassuring glow, begins weaving delicate threads of stories in the air, painting gentle images that dance like moonlit shadows. The messages emanate warmth and calm, a reminder of the beauty in stillness and presence. Tonight, the tale Salira spun floats softly through the air, wrapping around the meadow's listeners like the lightest of silks. She spoke not only with words, but a melody of images that immersed the listener into a serene, enchanted dreamscape. Her wings pulsed gently as she painted an ethereal starlit forest, its trees whispering lullabies of floating rivers and tranquil skies. The images draped over the meadow like a soft quilt, creating a realm that soothed and quieted every restless mind. Amid the audience, a young butterfly named Kindheart flutters delicately, her wings an intricate mirror of dawn and dusk, holding a delicate innocence that mirror her curiosity. It's her first Sommertira as both an observer and participant, and she felt the peace of the meadow guide her through Salira's quiet artistry. Each story unfurled with the rhythm of a soft heartbeat, punctuated by the sound of the crickets and the gentle rustle of the world nearby. The highland bloom seemed to crescendo as Salira ended her melodic visions. The glows from the bioluminescent flowers pulsed faintly, each drop of light stitching itself into the rhythm of the meadows. The peaceful quiet that followed was profound, a moment in which time slowed not in silence, but in the harmonious hum of life fully embraced. With Sommertira's tradition complete for the evening, the butterflies begin their gentle ascent back into the twilight skies. They form an aurora of light as their wings shimmer faintly under the watchful gaze of the stars. The youngest among them, like Kindheart, carried with them new-found understanding, purpose, and tranquility. The meadow, now bathed in dreamlike stillness, pulses faintly with the lights of dreams being born. The soft rustling grass beneath the stars whispered secrets only nature understood. It was in these moments that Sommertira's purpose, though unseen and unwritten, was fulfilled. The delicate harmony of guiding even the most restless souls into warmth, healing, and comfort. The luminous glow of the meadow began to settle in its natural rhythm, yet the enchantment of Sommertira was far from over. High above, the stars gleamed with a brilliance that seemed to echo the earthly light below, creating a seamless bridge between the heavens and the meadow's heart. The constellations that watched over the land were said to be ancient guardians, casting their protective gaze on all who sought solace here. Each pinpoint of light appeared to hum a gentle song, a harmony so subtle that only the quiet of the meadow could bring it to life. Kindheart remained near the grove. Her wings gently reflected the soft hues of the evening's luminescent display. She watched as Salira, with her calming presence, drifted gracefully through the branches of the ancient grove. Though the elder butterfly's wings barely moved, it was as if the winds themselves carried her, light as her breath and smooth as silk. Entranced, Kindheart felt a new stirring within her, a mixture of awe and a yearning to understand the deeper magic of this sacred ritual. She unfurled her delicate wings and took flight, gliding just above the soft grass below. A cool, soothing wind caressed her as she flew, carrying with it scents of the meadow, a mingling of wildflowers, earth, and the faint sweetness of lavender in bloom. Her movements were unhurried, each wing beat a reflection of the meadow's serene cadence. Calithra followed the faint trail left by Solira's shimmering glow, her heart steady with warmth and curiosity. Beyond the grove lay an expanse of meadow, yet untouched by the bioluminescent bloom. Here the air felt different, not heavier, but somehow ancient, as if the land itself carried the memory of countless Sommertira nights. Solira paused at the edge of the space, her wings softly folding as she turned to observe Calithra's approach. The elder butterfly's gaze held no judgment, only the quiet encouragement of one who understood the spoken questions of the young. Calithra approached cautiously, her delicate form illuminated by the faint glow of Solira's presence. The elder butterfly seemed to wait, exuding an aura of calm that wrapped around the two like an invisible cocoon. When Calithra at last settled on a nearby branch, the grove seemed to draw its breath, the world itself growing still to allow their unspoken exchange. Calithra's gaze drifted skyward as Solira spoke her first unspoken lesson. The meadow's vast ancient expanse unfolded before her, a tapestry woven from stars, whispers, and the quiet hum of life. It was a realm of untouched beauty, where every blade of grass and every glow of light seemed to carry a meaning. Solira extended her wings slowly, and with the subtlest of movements, she gestured forward, inviting Calithra to follow. The young butterfly hesitated for only a moment before taking to the air, the soft breeze beneath her wings whispering encouragement like an old friend. Together they ventured deeper into the meadow, a realm few had seen during Sommertira. The further they glided, the more alive they seemed. Despite the meadow's tranquility, each step into this space carried a refreshing sense of discovery. The light here was softer, diffused through a pearly mist that clung to the ground in strands, almost as if the fabric of the sky itself had melted down to kiss the earth. Each tiny droplet of mist twinkled faintly, echoing the starlight above. They passed by a grove of elder trees, towering sentinels whose bark shimmered faintly with its own glow. Long trailing vines hung from the branches, swaying like gentle streamers in the breeze. Calithra could feel the quiet, ancient energy of these trees. They seemed alive beyond the ordinary definition, their roots humming with a vibration she couldn't quite hear, but felt resonate deep within her. Solira paused briefly, allowing Calithra to glide closer and truly take in the sight. Within the canopy, small glowing specks fluttered, the tiniest of meadow insects who created an emerald haze with their light as they flitted from leaf to leaf. It was a delicate, hidden world, full of stories untold and beauty untouched by time. When Solira moved forward again, it was with an elegance that barely disturbed the air. Ahead, the landscape began to change. The rolling fields of flowers and soft grasses started to rise, forming gently sloping hills dotted with blooming clusters of moonflowers. These blooms, rare and shy, only opened their silky petals under the tender gaze of the moonlight, revealing glowing cores that pulsed faintly, their soft, silvery light bathed the path in an otherworldly glow. Calithra marvelled at each flower as they passed. The delicate folds of their petals seemed impossibly intricate, like starlight, frozen in time. She began to notice how everything here seemed to exist in connection. The flowers and grasses, the passing breezes, even the silent, watchful stars above, all bound by the unseen threads of Sommertira's harmony. At the crest of the hills, Sommertira paused, her wings folding momentarily, as if to savour the view. From here, the entire meadow stretched outward, like an endless sea of living light. The wind carried whispers of rustling leaves, the faint hums of nighttime creatures, and the soothing rhythm of distant flowing water. It was here Calithra truly began to understand the enormity of Sommertira. Not just as a routine, but as a living, breathing symphony that spanned the very fabric of this enchanted world. Descending from the hills, the path brought them alongside a shallow stream. The gentle babbling of the stream created a melody, soft and constant, that seemed to harmonize with the faint notes drifting through the trees. Sommertira paused once more, dipping her delicate wings close to the surface of the water. A faint ripple emerged, spiraling outward, transforming into a cascade of soft light that spread across the stream. Calithra, enraptured, followed her lead. Tentatively she fluttered closer, catching the cool spray from the water below. The instant her delicate wingtips skimmed the surface, a similar ripple spread. She felt a thrill of wonder. This was no magic she had seen or even dreamed of before. Calithra closed her eyes, letting the stream's melodic hum fill her consciousness, carrying its lightness to the very edges of her being. When she opened her eyes, Sommertira had already taken flight again, guiding them further into the meadow's heart. Here, the forest opened up into a glade surrounded by circles of wildflowers, glowing in every colour imaginable. The flowers seemed to pulse with their own rhythm, a perfect harmony that mirrored a faint, untraceable melody, still humming through the air. At the centre of the glade was a single giant tree, whose trunk shone like the golden hue of amber. Its sprawling branches stretched skyward, adorned with tiny blossoms that seemed to blend the palettes of dusk and dawn, creating a spectrum of warm, calming light. It was here that Calithra felt the meadow breathe most deeply. This immense tree was not just a tree, it was life itself, the heart of Sommertira, and of the silent, sacred rhythms this world knew. Sommertira alighted softly on one of its branches, motioning for Calithra to follow. Her wings were trembling with anticipation as she flew closer, settling beside her guide. The tree exuded a partial hum, far deeper and richer than the land around it. The moment Calithra stilled, the deep vibrations of the tree seemed to seep into her, filling her with a calm that was almost overwhelming in its pure, unwavering warmth. Sommertira's gaze rested on her, her smile more felt than seen. Calithra could feel a quiet wonder rise within her at the thought. The idea that every light in the meadow carried with it the dreams, hopes, and comforts of all who had witnessed the ritual. And in moments like this, those dreams became eternal, intertwined with the land, the stars, and the very fabric of Sommertira itself. She breathed deeply, letting the calm and magic of this place fulfill her. feeling connected to every shimmering aspect of this world, a part of its grand symphony, alive in every whisper and hum. As Calithra stood in the heart of Sommertira's meadow, surrounded by its pulsing glow and vibrant harmony, she couldn't help but feel a sense of belonging. This magical world embraced her with open arms, welcoming her into its intricate web of light and sound. With a final glance at the radiant meadow and its eternal symphony, Calithra knew her time here was drawing to a close. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for witnessing this wonder and for being part of its harmony, however briefly. As Salira took flight once more, guiding her toward the soft horizon where the first light of dawn began to bloom, Calithra followed without hesitation. She carried with her the echoes of Sommertira, the melodies, the light, the overwhelming unity of life. For she would leave this enchanted world behind, its rhythms would live on within her, a gentle cadence in her heart to guide her always. For once someone has stood in the soul of Sommertira, they are never truly apart from it. And Calithra knew, wherever her path might lead, she would forever be a part of its eternal symphony.